We just praised him for a couple minutes straight, and he deserves all the praise because he's been looking like a man on fire. Kind of like the Protoss version of Bonnie, just never a boring game with Nice.
Yeah, apparently not. We are starting off on Nightshade for this best of 3 in the top left as the blue Protoss. He is very nice.
Very nice. In the right bottom side, we're looking at the main base of the Korean Protoss, who's been looking good in PvP. Can that continue? It is Hurricane.
I mean, he talked about Hurricane kind of like apt to his name, how he plays PvP. Wax Angel made a actually very cool tweet where he was like, Nice plays like a guy who, like in boxing, who doesn't feel the punches. He doesn't feel the pain. He just actually goes through it. And it's like, how are you going to go through a hurricane? Is that going to work out?
You know what is what I was thinking when I was watching the last game that Nice was playing is like, Nice kind of plays like a Zerg against the Terran when they're like on 82 drones and 7 bases, right? That's a little bit how he plays PvP.
Okay.
But then you look at his work count and he's got 64 probes, and I'm like, how bad must I be as a Protoss player? Because I feel I'm richer and I have less stuff than he has all the time. He must do a really good job, at least in saturating the mineral lines correctly, because he does take a lot of bases. But it's crazy how many units Nice produces over an economy that you look at and you're like, yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's like 60 or like 78 or 80 workers. It's such a big difference, but he's just really freaking good. He knows when to fight, he knows when to trade, and most of those trades are always just barely enough in his favor that they are worth it.
I think it's a very important like compliment you gave him, because a lot of the times we see someone make a bracket run and it's like maybe a little bit cheesy, maybe just like stylistically it's very different, but to actually like compliment and point out someone's mechanics, like that's when you know it's quite legit, and that's why we are so impressed. Now PvP was, we talked a lot about it yesterday, a bit about it today. Hearthstone kind of like forced the issue to make it even weirder with his gateway openers, but we do go back to kind of the standard, at least so far, with the pylon in the middle of the map actually being used, and it is a proxy robo.
Yep, and then we're eventually expecting one more gateway to be warped in. I mean, sometimes you see 2-gate robo, but if you proxy the robo in the middle of the map, it is most likely going to be the 3-gate robo. Now, of course, robo against robo can get very funny, because the most, the basic idea of RTS is that there should be a defender's advantage, so this should be a little bit better for Hurricane, right? Normally you can say yes, but then the downside of PvP is that you can be very easily contained, and then you might just be like, well, then I'll go for a Colossus to break the force field, but then your opponent can go disrupt us again. So just because one person is defending, that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the better spot to be in.
Yeah, Nice. I mean, he's kind of like quote-unquote getting away with this. Yeah, up 8 probes, both on one base, and Hurricane forced to regroup. Nice actually kind of using this as almost a scout / like getting free pickoffs. Observer on observer action. All right, that's finally going to go down.
Losing the obs is kind of a big deal,
Yeah.
obviously, because he lost the robo, so he can't really rebuild one. But I still love the position. He's in 23 workers against 18. He already has a Stargate, so even the potential disrupt attack here is going to be very easy for Nice to counter.
Yeah, even one Phoenix, if this had gone to like a micro war in the main, would have been able to pick up an Immortal for some time, and that's also very useful. But yeah, if you're expecting the transition into Disruptors from Hurricane, it works out beautifully as well. Nice getting some free damage with his War Prism. Hurricane finally getting across the map with double Immortal this time, not just a single Adept, but the army's still there.
He can't do anything. He's going to have to recall, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a Phoenix out as well. He loses one Immortal immediately. He's actually just flying away for now. Or did he recall something? I don't know. It seems like it's still on the minimap. The Phoenix is looking for it. At the same time, Nice is going to fight a couple Stalkers in the main base. And these Immortals are going to have a good time doing so. Even though he didn't kill the Stalkers, that's a lot of real damage once again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a nice micro from Hurricane to save them. But, he's managed to come back up on the probes. But I got to imagine there was a huge dip in economy from being down 8 might be reflecting right now in that army supply. A little favorable for Nice as he comes forward. I don't know Hurricane saw that. He does have his War Prism coming back home now.
I gotta say, I would actually prefer Nice expanding at this point, because I don't think he really needs to go up here. It can get very awkward. I like the fact that Hurricane is actually going for a Colossus over a Disruptor after he saw that there was a Phoenix out. Nice is in a good position, and he may be able to get the job done here, and I think picking off a gateway is awesome. I don't know if I really want to see him run off that ramp.
It's going to be the dangerous call there. You're building a robo, so maybe thinking about the future.
Oh, I don't like
this. Take the fight. The War Prism not able to save the sentries, which do go down. Lots of Adepts are going to be picked up that time. Yeah, I think Nice, you know, it's bold to try, but he did try, and now they're on the Nexus. Yeah.
Yep, but he actually took a lot of damage already, so has to be a little bit
around.
careful, but he does have the Phoenixes for some constant DPS on the Colossus as well. The Immortals want to get in range of the Phoenix. Don't forget, the Phoenix can also work on the Warp Prism. This is such a bizarre fight. I really don't think Nice has to take this fight, though.
I don't think he had to take it, but apparently he saw something that we didn't. Well, it was wrong. He's actually forced to retreat, does not grab the Colossus, does not grab the Warp Prism, and is now going to have to go back home. He's expanding. His supply did dip, certainly there.
Oh,
Phoenix
man.
have to try and do something.
He got a little overeager, but he still has the Phoenixes. He wants to get the Prism. Can he get the Prism and the Colossus? I think it's actually okay to suicide the Phoenix here. Well, he just gets the Prism for now. Hurricane rebuilds the Prism immediately. Ooh, it's going to be tough for Nice to defend on his side of the map, though. He's down like 12 army supply. That's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I think ultimately taking that fight, especially with the Colossus around, it actually might throw the game for him here.
Upper ramp near a shield battery
Yeah.
as well. It's like, you don't have to, my friend. He actually had all the tools in the right place. He had the right tech already. The only downside is that he lost his robo and he had to rebuild the robo. But he's not down and out yet, especially once he snipes this Colossus. He can actually lift the Immortals with the Phoenixes.
Yeah, there's something that to actually be saved. The Warp Prism on the way probably would have died as well, even with target fire from the Stalkers. And now the Phoenix absolutely can lift up those Immortals. Nothing to block those Adepts is annoying, but the Phoenix, I mean, the guys had to pick and choose, actually. Either defend, help with the Immortals, or deal with the Adepts. The Adepts didn't even go through. There's the pickup on the Immortals. Warp Prism a little late here for Hurricane. Nice taking an okay fight to start things off. He's got to keep picking these up.
Yep, Hurricane doing a good job at first sniping the Phoenix, but the second Phoenix does not actually get sniped. And now the Immortals of Nice actually allowed to do a lot of damage, but the Adepts are so annoying. They've been soaking up a couple of these shots as well. And it seems like Hurricane just barely has enough units at this point. Nice, oh nice. Why did you make that attack, my friend, on the other side of the map?
Yeah, I imagine if you had just a few more units to help out here. Like it really was a dip down in supply enough to the instant counter. You know, the Warp Prism bought him like maybe a couple of seconds. It bought him the Colossus snipe, but ultimately he should have just pulled back. And now he's forced to pull back into a main base. I mean, both of them are running out of minerals in the main, but now Nice is down 10 army supply. He does have another shield battery actually in the mineral line to try and help out. Should be that desperate of a fight. But even having a micro the sentry here, he does get the force field, saves for another day.
I thought this was a little ambitious by Hurricane now, actually, because he's fighting the one near shield barriers. Good saves on those Immortals. One Immortal so low in HP from Hurricane, actually.
Oh, he's not a second Phoenix to take it out if he lifts it. But an Immortal pops out from Nice.
Oh,
he's
my
going to lift that one to try and get the shot on it, but the recall is good. Nothing's attacking the Immortal. Oh my god, and it actually gets away.
This game is ridiculous. 21 workers on either side, but now I actually like Nice's position again, because he's the one with 3 Immortals, and now he should be able to counter. I like that Hurricane got a couple of sentries, but I think without a pylon on the low ground, without a shield battery, I don't see him defending here. It's 3 Immortals against 2. 3 is better, Jess.
This is so amazing. I seriously, though. 3 Immortals is better than 2. You're absolutely right about that. They both have Warp Prisms in the micro, but even a Phoenix being involved, one lift up can be so helpful, or it's not ignored and kills the Warp Prism. That is so huge.
Target fire, I know it's hard to follow sometimes in these battles, that's crazy, but it's very important, because Immortals are not that great against sentries. Of course they'll win the fight, but it's just you're wasting a lot of damage. If Immortals shoot at Immortals, they do so much damage. The Adepts are very good against the sentries. Here we go. Nice wants to win this fight. The force fields are good. Nice is really going all in, dropping the Immortals on the other side, but that didn't work out. And Hurricane defends for now.
He absolutely defends. He actually made that look very easy. I mean, the Phoenix was maybe a little bit wasted. It could have maybe tried, but it was so easy to target fire. But those force fields, I mean, they just completely blocked him out. And now Hurricane has a Nexus and he had a Disruptor on the way, and he finds the Warp Prism, which is forced to unload. It should be able to escape, but now it's injured and the Immortals are injured.
Yep, 21 workers, but Nice does not have an expand. Hurricane does have an expo, so he can actually start mining quite a bit more. Nice is going for the robo base well, but I would like to actually see mine a little bit more. A couple of Adepts randomly show up in the natural. They do not really get any kills, but the Immortals in the main base will though. Man, these two guys are really putting it all on the line. This is qualification, round of 24 for the winner of this series, and his first game is freaking awesome.
This is amazing, because Nice also has that chance to get his own Disruptor play out, and you know what can happen with Disruptor versus Disruptor. Anything is still fair game.
Oh my
He's going to barely save both Immortals on the Warp Prism. You're absolutely kidding me. What is in that Warp Prism? What is it? He's going to try and catch it? It's Stalkers. He wants the Warp Prism so bad, but there's so much space on Nightshade for that to stick around. That is so amazing, but Nice is still down in Nexus, but he's...
How do you fly
silly.
back? That is so insane. He didn't even have vision. And he's winning the fight against the Stalkers. Are you Nice? You are ridiculous. You are ridiculous.
I cannot believe he did that, and he saves the War Prism once again. He has managed to, I mean, he doesn't have a Nexus, but he's managed to keep the probe lead, but eventually he's going to have to start long-distance mining. That will always be an issue. But is he getting to his own Disruptors? Can he barely afford? Yes, the first one pops out. Disruptor versus Disruptor. Who has the better shot?
Oh, but yeah, look at the amount of sentries he has, by the way. So if he lands one Purification Nova in the middle of those sentries, the War Prism is going to spot the armies. Here we go again. They just keep on fighting.
Oh, yeah, the Immortal was so weak already, but his Disruptor is his War Prism is going to go for the fight. He does grab, no, he grabs an Immortal, not the Sentry. That was the pickup, was that the right pickup, though. The Force Fields are coming down from Hurricane. This is such a messy battle, but Hurricane just has so much more.
This game was ridiculous. I think the Disruptor of Hurricane was pretty good as well in the beginning of the fight. Nice now needs the absolute biggest hit that we can imagine, as Hurricane obviously is up a base. Hurricane is going to run just straight into the main base of Nice, and that is going to be not it yet for the Disruptor.
Oh, he's just not save. He's not going to save it. One more shot. There it is. And there's the tap out for game number 1. It does go to Hurricane.
Extreme Masters Katowice for the second time in his career. It is Hurricane.
I feel like that's the type of game you really hope for when you talk about, like, yeah, it's not a very good matchup right now. It's kind of silly. It's a little random. Like you're hoping at least it's a fun random.
Yep.
When so often it's like, oh, actually, you just died to the proxy robo. Like, super cool.
I have to say I've been positively surprised by the PvP so far in this tournament. I really feel like I've seen a lot of awesome games. I thought Australia Showtime was cool. We had a couple of like DNS against Hearthstone earlier today was cool. Yesterday we had a couple of really cool and outstanding PvPs as well. Like I was actually worried for like worst case scenario was like 3-gate robo every game, and then it's like 7 minutes either win or loss. You know, with like no back and forth scenarios, and I hate those kind of games. Like last game, yes, it starts out with 3-gate robo, but it's like Hurricane is winning, Nice is winning, Hurricane is winning. Like that's the kind of stuff that you hope for when you watch StarCraft 2.
Yeah. I know you were actually kind of lamenting that you haven't gotten like the sickest series, right? Like I got Hero Win Showtime, and I'm like, I want that.
Yesterday, my second series was Innovation against Skillus, and I am a big fan of my Bratan, but that wasn't the best performance with Skillus. Then I had Bly against Inno, well, also not the greatest best of 3 of all time. Bly against Has. You know, I've been luckier as a caster in my career. But today is actually, today I can't complain.
Today's pretty amazing. Yep. I think they're actually doing this for you, Roddy.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, you know what? If you sign up for PvP every now and then, you get rewarded.
Yeah. No proxies, not even the fake pylon coming down. Hurricane putting his third on the natural, so as Nice.
You know what I have been noticing, that especially Korean protoses, but also the Taiwanese, of course, they really seem to be quite fond of the 2 Adapted opening. And I don't want to say that there is no European protos that opens 2 Adapts, or that you rarely see it, but I really see a lot more Stalker openings or the Stalker Sentry opening from like the defensive kind of guys in Europe. The double Adapt, I don't want to say it fell completely out of fashion, but it's a lot less common than it seems to be for these guys, because these guys are doing it every single best of 3, either both of them or at least one of them.
Yeah, actually, like 4 Adepts here from Nice. There was like a build that was 6 Adepts, wasn't it? Trying to just bust through. And then the pylon block.
Yeah, you kill the shield battery if they do it in the last moment. It's actually pretty good against heavy sentry openings.
Yeah, that's not what Hurricane's doing here. He does have a probe in the middle, just chilling. Following up those 3, 4 Stalkers with 2 more sentries, he is going to use that probe for a pylon. But what for?
But he's getting sentries as well, so maybe some pressure eventually. We'll see. We'll keep a close eye on it. Neither of them have dropped any tech at this point. They're just producing gateway units.
Yeah, interesting. And it is 6 Adepts, by the way.
Gateway?
So
this must be a gate then. Anything other than a gate doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the 4 Adepts starting to threaten here. Pylon does come down. You don't want to bust that when the units are also there, but maybe with the 6, that Hurricane's Phoenix does scout that.
I actually like this by Hurricane. I like the call. I don't know if this was the plan all along, or if he's doing this because he sees the amount of Adepts that Nice is opening with. Because Adepts are scary if they're in your mineral line, but guess what? In a straight-up fight, Stalkers are way better, and Hurricane clearly really wants to bring the fight to Nice right now, because I mean, it doesn't really matter how good you are. You're not going to win a fight with Adepts against Stalkers.
Yeah, that's very true. The Adepts not even getting close enough to really check, you know, if that's going to happen.
That is so many Adepts.
So many Adepts. That was 8. My bad. But the Robo coming down now. He does have his own natural, but he really wants to do something with this. He is finally getting through.
Oh, I don't like this shit.
No, that was good. Nope. So that turned around him very quickly. I guess he didn't realize either the amount of Stalkers or the amount of force fields, hoping maybe the sentries on the left side at least so we could grab all of them. Instead, he grabs 1. No Stalkers, and he does get 3 Adepts in the mineral line.
He's got like no army. Nice. Chrono Boost at Immortal. Nice needs like 2 shield batteries on the low ground right now. Otherwise, he's going to lose his Nexus. I mean, he is listening, but I'm almost afraid that it's a bit too late because he didn't start his Immortal immediately. I kept a really close eye on the production tab, and that Robo was done for like 10-15 seconds. May not seem like the biggest deal in the world, but that could actually make all the difference. Hurricane is going to have so many sentries, he's probably just going to do the little pushing game with the Immortal, where you drop like 6 force fields and you just keep pushing the Immortal into your own army. I'm worried here for Nice Man. I'm worried that he just threw away a few too many adepts there a little too early.
Yeah, I mean, he probably felt the pressure to actually do something with them, but that is 3 shield batteries, an Immortal, his own couple of sentries.
He's gonna play like Scorpion. He's like, Immortal, get over here, and he's gonna like force field it. Oh, actually, well, it's safe at least for now.
Yeah, it is safe for now. Like, the SimCity outlook is as bad as it can be on this map sometimes.
This is good for Nice. This could have been so much worse. Imagine if force fields start landing behind that Immortal.
Exactly. Like, it is still in a location where 1 force field would boost it forward with no escape, so it's very scary. But force fields come down from Nice. He is definitely holding on. Another Stalker's gonna get kicked off. Nope, save. Thank you, shield battery. His energy is, sentry energy is getting very, very low, but these are just, shield batteries are just lasting forever. And now Warp Prism is out. The Adept's gonna try and shade through here, and they might get some damage in the main base, or they might just stay here to help out the attack now. Shade through for sure. And a response Adept warp in, but 3 against 2. Probes are being pulled away now. But Hurricane, he was shoot away. He did not win right there.
Nope, that was incredibly well defended again by Nice. I am so impressed by Nice. Even if he goes out there in the final round of this offline bracket, I think he played so freaking well in all of these games, and I rate him so much higher at this point than I did before this tournament. I was like, yeah, he's good and he's dangerous, but I was like, if you're a good pro, you're supposed to beat him. I really don't see it like that anymore. Nice is just one hell of a player at this point.
Even if he were to be, theoretically 0-2'd, he's actually in a really good spot right now.
Yeah.
Like, even then, I'd just be like, well, that's because Hurricane actually is amazing at PvP.
Yep.
This is very bold. Very bold indeed. I guess predicting the army from behind was on a force field. He has his own shield batteries finished up though and his own Immortal, so I think this will be a very similar situation. Please stop throwing to each other.
I feel like we've seen this before. This is Nightshade all over again, but now just with different army composition. At this point, Hurricane is like, yeah, you were doing good on the other side of the map, but that's because you had shield batteries. I can have shield batteries as well, but look at that Immortals in a vulnerable spot. There are Adepts in the main base, but let's take a look at the fight, please. The Immortal of Hurricane goes down, and I actually think this means that Nice can win this game.
I think so. The probes did okay initially, but now they're going down. They did pop the shields of the Immortals as well, but here comes the Warp Prism and Hurricane down to 4 Stalkers so quickly. Like, yeah, I think he's lost this for sure. Like, the Immortal pops out, but Nice, he should have a couple more warp-ins soon enough. He apparently cleaned up the Adepts. No, actually, they're still running around. They just weren't target firing the probes because they were pulled away. So there was actually a lot of lost mining there, but that army supply certainly is telling a tale. Some of it's on other sides of the map, but ooh, this is a very small army right now.
Unload, please.
Scary for both players, but definitely unload those Immortals.
Yeah, I actually think he could have taken that fight, but maybe he didn't know if he had barriers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I guess he was waiting. Now there seems to be at least one Stalker going down. Both are going Glaives, but obviously this is a lot better for Nice. After picking off 16 workers in that exchange, I love the Dogs run by Hurricane though. You may as well at this point.
Absolutely.
You need something crazy.
Yeah. I mean, those probes really did an amazing job for the first like 10 seconds, but eventually they got to start losing their lives. And now down by 13. That's nasty.
All the difference though, like we called it in the previous fight, like if the Immortal gets force fielded out, it can actually go down. It doesn't really matter. And that's what happened to Hurricane here, right? He had an Immortal, but that Immortal was in the wrong position. Nice capitalized on it. He force fielded that Immortal in, and there was 0 save potential for Hurricane because he didn't have a prism there. And the moment you lose that Immortal, you're like suddenly like, oh my god, I actually can't win this battle right now.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, another pylon is going down since the gateway was found out. He needs something to warp in those DTs, and that could be what changes things up. Nice. I mean,
do we have an
observer? Same question. We have one, but the question is always where is it? It's going to be on the offensive, so no defensive DTs, but then maybe like a weird base trade, or he forces Nice to pull back. He's got to buy a little bit more time though. That Dark Shrine is not done.
I like that as well. He's just gunning down that shield battery. That's a lot of Adept showing up. Resonating Glaives is done. The Dark Shrine is not done yet. That Immortal is going to get surrounded by Adepts. Nice has no mercy. He's just diving right in there. Do we have a couple of DTs being warped in? Yes, and they are being warped in on the other side of the map, I believe. No, one defensively, one offensively. But there is an observer. GG gets called. What a series. Nice ties it up.
I'm like starting to actually like have trouble remembering what map was what, but like Nice also again falling down a bit, like wondering is he actually gonna be able to make it. His force field's fantastic. He doesn't take that much damage from the Adepts that could have been brutal, and instead he absolutely puts it back. Also adopted Americans. No, it's always been Europeans.
Now, of course, a couple of Europeans are already seeded into the round of 24. I know people are always like, where's Cyril, where's Reina? Don't worry, guys, we're going to give those nerds some love. Elaser, of course, as well. Those three are already in the round of 24. And later today, I mean, actually currently playing, I know Utermal's active in bracket 4, Lambo. Those are kind of two of the Europeans that I really have my eyes on, that I hope can go all the way. Yeah, so far it's been quite crazy, and it's been rough for a lot of the top European players.
It has, yeah. I see 2 Adepts, and I'm like, no way he tries that like mass Adept thing again, right?
No, it's probably just 2 Adepts into something.
I would hope so. Soccer Sentry here from Hurricane.
That was so bizarre. 8 Adepts into, in my opinion, a bad shade where he's like literally trapped already on the ramp. And then it just like lasted long enough that he actually got the Immortal out at home. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing I can imagine is that 1, there's a 3rd gateway he didn't know about, and like maybe that added a couple more units than he's used to. And 2, the shade visibility is very poor, so maybe he thought it was only 3 sentries, 3 stalkers. Like, even then I think it's a bad shade because it's in the middle of a ramp.
This could be big. Very quick Stargate by Hurricane, and Nice actually going to scout it because Nice is turning around.
That's just a probe in the main base. Like, I mean, all right then.
Because the Stalker was out of position looking for something else. Some people will call this a negative IQ scout because it's never supposed to work, but because these things are not supposed to work, they do actually work now. Does he cancel the Stargate after it got scouted? The answer is nope.
No. 4 Adepts were made for Nice. He's got 2 more coming across the map. He's going to be looking to get in there. Like he put a pylon down that I think he was trying to do something with, but no, that is definitely something that Hurricane should not be letting into his main base. He does not cancel the Stargate. That will be completed. Nice has a shield battery in response, and his Nexus is well on its way. Before Adepts do anything, even picking off a Sentry, getting into the main at all.
Oh my god, this is like so nerve-wracking for Hurricane, because if these Adepts do get in, I mean, then it could very...
Stop both, I think.
Yep.
The Oracles come in. The Adepts, that's what we're waiting.
Good feedback, and that's exactly what he does. Lands the double feedback immediately, and now he actually buys quite some time for himself, because obviously even if you have 25 energy, it's useless to activate Pulsar Beam, because then you run out of energy immediately again.
It's actually perfect timing because his +2 is finishing. He is absolutely ready to go for this, and Hurricane, he doesn't really have anything to stall it out. Like the Adepts are going to go to a Nexus that has no probes on it, and Hurricane knows he's going to be in trouble very soon. He's going to have to hope for amazing Disruptor shots.
Yep, he does have 1 Disruptor, and the second one is almost done. A couple of Adepts is going to be very annoying, but you can't really target fire right now because you need to focus on your defense. That shot is just not good enough. He has 1 Stalker, that's cute and all, but he needed so much more. Hurricane in all the trouble. Where is that second Disruptor?
It's coming out now, and that's that force was not going to stop, but it's going to get a pretty juicy hit. Lots of Stalkers and a Sentry going down, but so many Archons still left alive. Shield batteries are out of juice anyways. More Zealots coming from behind. Maybe he can hold on
Stalkers
here.
are pretty good.
No War Prism either? Like, I think he will hold, but it's like, how good of a hold?
I mean, he actually didn't really lose that many workers yet. He's going to end up losing his Oracles, right? Unfortunately, I don't really love that Stalker warp in, but in the end, he's doing a good job in saving at least a couple of them. Hurricane doing whatever he can. He's going to gun down 1 more Archon, and he warps in a few more Stalkers. Hurricane is actually going to defend here.
Okay, apparently that's going to happen. I mean, 1 Disruptor shot was very, very good, but also Nice able to like quickly reinforce. Kind of hurt him as well. Hurricane going to try and do something because he absolutely is in the right to do so. He has Blink. He has that map control. They should always survive, even when up against a couple charge left. They'll just blink back immediately. And now he can get his own 3rd Nexus. He can build up the Disruptor count as well. So 1 was not scary, 2 was scary, 4. That's when you're like really have to consider what do I do against Disruptors. And for Nice, he goes for his own Blink. They both go for Dark Shrines.
Wow, that was bad actually. -2 Stalkers almost immediately. I can't believe the range that Archon had. Dark Shrine at the same time. These 2 guys really brothers from another mother, man. Like they really play quite similar actually. They have the same ideas very often. Nice in a good position, up a base, up a couple workers. This is a little bit frustrating for him because he doesn't have the same micro potential as Hurricane has with those Stalkers, but it doesn't really matter, right? You have to work so hard to get what? 1 or 2 Zealots? That's not gonna win you the game.
Yeah, and Nice is about to have the same micro potential with Blink finishing up. War Prism's on the way as he gets a bit of scout really with these Zealots, not so much on the probes. Nice still has that armor supply lead, but I think the Disruptor count's going up to 3. I believe that's the 3rd one, or at least the 4th one. That's the 4th one.
Well, that's the number you wanted.
I mean, that's the number I think that the magic really does start to happen, especially if you get some distraction in as well, which they both are thinking of with those Dark Shrines.
Important to point out, obviously, that Nice does have +2 and Hurricane only has +1. So in a Stalker battle, Nice is actually going to have a little advantage as well. One Disruptor is being sent towards the north side. That's a good shot immediately. He has a Disruptor. No, actually, he sent it back to his army. With 4 Disruptors, anything is possible. You know what creates chaos? Purification Novas and DTs at the same time on the other side of the map. Like, if you think StarCraft is stressful, try playing it while you have to defend against DTs and also avoid Disruptors.
I honestly think it's the key to what makes Disruptors good, like the harassment and especially DTs. They're actually coming across the map first for, well, actually, they're coming across
no ops.
He does not. Both of them sending DTs across the map. The blink forward takes out the Warp Prism and the Disruptor. Oh no, it's barely target fire. These two, one of them got the good shot. Second one also getting a decent shot. But so many Archons, so many Stalkers left alive. Both of them are starting to do damage with the DTs. Defensively, Nice is pulling away his probes. Offensively, actually just retreats.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the retreat because I think that fight was good enough. And now he just wants to make sure he doesn't end up losing like 25 workers. He's actually been losing a lot already. Yeah. 70 works going down, but he's... I mean, I still don't hate his position. He just needs to clean this up as quickly as possible. Leave one observer at home. Oh my goodness, he's struggling with this.
Yeah, this is taking a long time. Like, Nice was using his DTs. Obviously, he had to come across the map with them, and then they used kind of like on the army, not into the economy. Hurricane, though, with that proxy, with the backstab, you know, Nice thought he had to push.
Hurricane is up 15 workers at this point, so you could say every second that goes by right now is in favor of our Korean Protoss. This would truly be a magical comeback. Nice is like, where's that pylon? I need to find that pylon. I don't want to deal with more DTs running into my bases. And Hurricane, even though he lost all of his Disruptors, he's like, I'm going back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's still at the point where he has to do that with the Archons, with the upgrade, or the composition that he has, right? Like, he's got to still depend a little bit on Disruptors, but the DT going to find no probes here, and that's actually a great sign for him.
Did Nice leave something in his network? Can we take a look real quick?
A cannon,
cannon and a battery, that's fine.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. So Nice will be able to entirely focus on the attack and perhaps dodge out more Disruptor shots. There's only one right now. He's going to take the fight. First Disruptor's going to find the Stalkers. That aggressive blink forward. Oh, that actually just cost him the fights. Nice is going to be forcing his issue here, but another Disruptor comes forward, going to maybe head for the Zealots, but he's going to attack his own Stalkers. That blink back was quite well timed.
Oh my god, it's so close actually. There are a couple of Archons, but the Archons don't really have insane micro potential. We all know that. So maybe if the Stalker count of Hurricane goes just a little bit higher, how many probes can Nice get? He needs a few more. He wants to get the Disruptor. Can he get it? Yes, he does get the Disruptor, but he's starting to run low on units over here, Jess.
This is almost exactly what it was 5 minutes ago. How is this happening again? The blink Stalker micro here from Hurricane. Gonna jump forward on the last remaining Archon. Barely not grab it, but it should eventually. More reinforcing units from across town. He finally gets the Archon. It's +2 still for Nice in this blink Stalker fight. +2 is almost done for Hurricane, as well as that charge, but he's gonna lose too many to actually hold on? Like, there's no Warp Prism still.
He blinks forward and actually lost a couple of his own Stalkers there. The Dark Templar comes home as well. These games are so freaking close. Nice once again with the defensive warp in, loses that Observer. That's a big deal because they're DTs. There's actually another Observer in the mix as well. Is he going to lose this Observer too?
Oh no, this is actually up to the Observers.
I mean, Nice has a 7 Stalker advantage. He should be able to close it out, but maybe Hurricane...
The Observer gets sniped, and there's still a DT left over. Are you kidding me, Hurricane? He's going to hold on once again, but Nice is reinforcing even more units.
I would actually say ignore the Dark Templar and just keep running and shooting at Stalkers. But that's a little bit risky, right? Because if you right-click on a Stalker and then it blinks away, Nice ends up losing another Stalker there.
Are you kidding me right now?
I mean, he's down 2 workers, and actually Hurricane caught up in the upgrades as well. So the only advantage that Nice has right now is that he has 5 Stalkers more, but he has no way to warp in on the other side of the map.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so many times a Warp Prism had been available. I think Nice has already won this game, but now it's only a 3 Stalker lead. He is going to grab another Archon, which can't be underestimated should, you know, a fight-to-fight really happen. But a DT even finding the Nexus, which has been not mining for some time.
Okay, Observer here. I like the kiting there by Hurricane. Hurricane knows that he needs to buy a little bit of time because he's down a few units. Ends up losing a Stalker there in the process. Nice that is. These fights are so close. I cannot believe that this is the deciding game of this best of 3. If you talk about an evenly matched best of 3, oh my goodness, all 3 games ridiculous. That Archon, yes, is gonna go down. Nice needs to get some damage going.
Yeah, he's gonna pull the probes. The probe difference not that big, but he's about to grab a Nexus. The Archon once again goes down. Yeah, Knight's going to be forced to entirely retreat, but the blink forward is good from Hurricane.
Hurricane is actually starting to do it. Now,
Yeah, I
we
think
do have a
so.
couple of Zealots showing up, but nice lost in Nexus to a single Dark Templar. These Zealots are going down as well. Hurricane with an absolutely magical comeback over here on World of Sleepers.
Yeah, the Archon finally gets really involved with the fight. Otherwise, it's been kind of sniped before it could do very much. A couple of shots do make a big difference, but the Stalker count, the Blink Micro can only do so much. Is Nice going to be able to do it here? They're both on kind of an equal economy with the workers, but the actual saturation, right, is better for Hurricane. If Nice doesn't win right here, right now, he is just going to lose out over time.
He's
He
being
knows
pushed back.
that.
Yeah, he's being pushed back. He has 5 Zealots, an Archon, and 4 Stalkers
Oh, he
in a
knows
Dream.
it. Oh, he knows it. Oh, that camera.
Gets a Dark Templar there, so that's good. I mean, imagine a world where Nice now suddenly gets a good fight, maybe does some damage to the Nexus, gets a couple of workers, but he ends up losing 2 Stalkers there. That is not the way to win this fight. Hurricane needs to micro himself out of trouble one more time.
Nice.
And if he does it, he will advance to the round of 24.
He actually took his hands off the keyboard for a second there. There's just nothing he can do against the micro of Hurricane with the superior numbers. His probe mining has actually been just better with that third base up
Unreal.
and running for a while, and that is it. The finale of an amazing